Welcome back to Divinity Original Sins 2 Honor Mode Plus run. This is going to be the fight on the boat and a couple of other topics. We are, as you can see, we just leveled up. And we are like super happy, finally we made it out of there. And everyone's just going. Great guys, thank you. Let's please not leave me alone here. Good, as for Syken, he needs to be leveled up like everyone else. Soon we can respec. For now, let's go into strength and warfare. And we got another talent. I would want to take Picture of Health for plus 3% health for every point in warfare, which means we just received about 60 extra health. Wonderful. So all the close calls that we received are going to be even closer for the next couple of fights, so might as well bump up our HP. Before we start the next section of the game, might as well get some more items. We're currently sitting at 20,000 gold pieces. That's great. And we got a bunch of items that we've looted. I think we're going to go and get our party first. At least that is advised. So, oh. So they are basically explaining you we're on the ship, but the ship will not move. Gareth and Melody are kind of the duo to talk here. Melody being a very powerful magical being herself. And as you can see, we got the quest, the Lady of War. We learned that Lady Vengeance is made from elven life, what the whole boat, so to speak, lives. And we now need to convince it to leave the harbor. And as long as we cannot talk to it, we're kind of, yeah, screwed. So here's our storage chest. Wonderful item. I like it. Probably one of the best things ever. So, as for the storage chest, let's get a little bit order. Let's get everything here in order, shall we? I like to have kind of subsections of the chest to be able to efficiently like maneuver a lot of stuff around in one go, instead of taking individual pieces out. So we're going to have a piece for all of the skill books here. As you have seen, we stole a lot of them, and once we have redone our skills, I'd like to take the whole thing and go through every character to see if we can learn an additional skill. But for that, we need to do the reskilling. When I say reskilling, there's a mirror here on the ship that allows you to freely and as often as you like reset your skill points. Really a great feature in the game. I love it. I think it's one of the best features to not get stuck in a single tree, but rather try out multiple builds and see what's fun. We're not going to fundamentally change the whole layout, but I figured a couple of tweaks here and there might not be too bad. So that's our skill. These are our skill trees. Wonderful. Our skill books, rather. Wonderful. We can craft new ones in between them, and we can also use these scrolls here to craft even further skill books. So first things first, let's put this in here. Autosort. Then I'm not sure. I mean, probably we can get rid of most of the food. It's really cumbersome. The second backpack that I like is the one where we do have kind of the unique items in there, things that we might want to revisit. A couple of um, unique items that we didn't want to sell, and that might be worthwhile in the future. In no particular order, I just saved a couple of the uniques, plus the thievery gloves. The thievery gloves, however, we should keep them in our inventory like a spare set of thievery stuff. The unique items we might want to put in here. So it's the second backpack. Put it there. Good. Next one. These here are vendor trash. I would keep most of the other items. The books will be sold, but yeah, that's pretty much like the core, the core of what we're doing. I am going to get rid of the all of the drinks here, the food. In case I ever need it a little bit later, we might want to pick it up, but all of this stuff here is like pointless. I only need empty mugs to create empty bottles, and that's about it. The empty bottles will be filled with oil and afterwards thrown as Molotov cocktails. The fish can be useful, so I will keep them. But the food itself is like not worth the effort. You can eat it if you have nothing else left over, and there are also nice food recipes, but yeah, even the best piece of food with specific talents that double the bonus is simply not worth the effort. Everything else here is crafting material, so we're going to keep that, specifically rotten eggs and so on and so forth. Like they can be used. Tomatoes cannot be, are just normal food, so we're not going to keep them. So it's just a little bit of a cleanup exercise almost. And whilst we're at it, I mean, the books are worth one, so let's not fool ourselves. It's not particularly great to keep them around. The only thing that we want to have is empty pages, sheets of paper, which we have down here. And yeah, that's really it. I mean, probably can put the keys still in here to not like make it too clustered. You can still use a key if you have it in your inventory. And the rest is fine. Auto sort. There you go. So we get rid of the second backpack here as well. So that's our stash. We will put a lot of more high-level weapons beneath it. Once we get them, for now, it's fine. So that was feature number one. As always, we can look through the things here. The bottles of beer are worthwhile grabbing them, but for the bottles and not for the beer. So these here will be a great supply for our Molotov cocktails, which by the way is an item that you can even use a little bit later, because it can ignite surface and therefore is very, very helpful. Deals a lot of damage even later in the game. Workbenches just increase your the outcome of your crafts. That is actually pretty good. If you know how to use them. A couple of nails. Yeah, a little bit of metal. I wish there would be more scrap metal, but there isn't. Too bad. So hey, we got our dwarf back. So we got 1 back, 2 to go. I would be interested to see if Ebon is here, like the guy that we killed in the first act, unfortunately, or that got killed. We had never killed him, but he got killed for whatever reason. So some crafting material in here, that's always good. Oh. And let's help a beast. Because seriously, you don't need to carry all of that stuff. I forgot he was overburdened the whole time, so... Let us take this from him. No, let us maybe then instead take this from him. There you go. So that's the backpack. Oops. That's the backpack he was carrying around, and finally he's no longer overburdened. So I was saying, let's see if Ibn is here. He unfortunately died, and I would be surprised to see that that's a completely finite death. Maybe he's being revived here and you can still use him. Yeah, it would be a shame to lose a character just because, I don't know, he's being randomly killed. Good. We're going 1 level further down. So that's a door which we need to open. We're going to do that in a second. There's the mirror down there, the one that lets us respec. So we got Lose. Good. Perfect. She's back. And let's get Seville. The last member missing. Oh, wait. Can use that. These are captured magisters, which we would want to interrogate soon. There's Sibyl. And really, I haven't seen Iban, so we might have lost him on the way. Old crew is reunited. Good. Too bad. I really wanted to have Eben join us. So, this here, by the way, is the mirror that we were talking about. So let's take a look what exactly we would want to do. We're currently, I'm pretty happy with how the builds turned out. We're just going to modify it a little bit. I think, wow, he's giving pretty much of a pose there. So kind of like Gandalf the Grey, Syken has lost his hair color. And let's take a look at it. So from a constitution perspective, I'm fine with going with 12 consti. The finesse part is also okay, just to wear the items, so that's good. I like the ability score so far. We are pretty much okay on them. Like warfare is good. The summoning one I would want to keep for now. Necromancy is also fine. We maybe are putting a second point into polymorph just to use the wings and the repositioning piece. Besides attributes, let's take 2 off of strengths and put them into memory. Just to get a couple more skills. I feel that sometimes we are too short on skills. The constitution is the minimum for shields in case we need it, and we're going to raise it also a little bit in the future. For now, we're trying to maximize. The strength part. Excuse me. So that's fine. Talents, comeback kit, definitely a good one. Opportunist, also a good one. Picture of health is okay. I was thinking about some others as well. There are a couple of good ones, but I think, well, for instance, Executioner would definitely be helpful. Let's draw a picture of health for now and go with Executioner to gain these extra 2 points when we need them, and we can still upgrade a little bit later. So Syken is done, and we're going to do the reskilling part in a second. Next up, Beast. I like him, but he needs more hair. Okay. That's fine. Let's go with the attributes. This for me is one of the things where I'm not 100% sure if we want to change it. 12 strengths to wear strength-based armor, 12 intelligence to wear intelligence-based armor, and be kind of flexible. The constitution part is fine, but I think we are lacking memory quite substantially. So might even want to go for 2 additional memory. It's probably too much by now. Let's look at 14 memory and see how we're going to do. So we are having a lot of points in summoning already. I am trying to balance this with whatever else he has. Geomancy definitely is a very, very powerful school. We would need 2 points in Geomancy in order to cast most of the spells. I also like the fact that he could cast a couple of Hydro spells, so these are like splash-ins. And since we have reached summoning 10 already, that is fine as well. We will continue to maximize summoning, but for the immediate effect, like getting just a couple of points in both of the defensive schools, absolutely makes sense. We're going to leave it there, and after we maximize summoning and have Hydro 2 and Geomancy 2, oh, wait a second, there's one more thing that we wanted to do, right? There's one more thing that we wanted to do, which is getting 2 in Aerothurk to make sure that we can use teleportation and get rid of these damned gloves. So might as well go with this. That should still net him with 10 summoning. We're going to invest into summoning more, but like 2 in these schools, in the supportive schools, is a sensible approach. We shouldn't let him be the lore master. He was the lore master for the beginning, but there's really no immediate need to do that almost. We could let him be the thief and let Saiken effectively be the barterer, since Saiken anyways is going to do most of the deals. Oh, wait a second. I think the humans have +1 bartering, so we might as well let them barter. So Saiken is the thief, and in which case here we're either doing a second thief or we're going with persuasion for increased dialogues. I don't know. I mean, that might be worth it. Let's go with thievery for now. So we do have a backup strategy if we need more equipment. The pet pal is good for him. I like it. Comeback hit also fine. Not necessarily. He wasn't the one taking damage so far. So let's see what else would make sense. All skilled up, definitely not. We don't need the initial boosts anymore. Elemental affinity might be a thing to cast faster with less points invested. Far reach might be a thing to. In some of the cases, he was not reaching reaching the enemies well enough. We could go with living armor to receive more healing on him, but currently we are not even being attacked. Mnemonic is good if we need more skills. That's actually pretty okay, but for now we can just skill it up because we don't have like a main attribute that we are super focusing on. We don't need stench. That's exactly the opposite of what we need. Dr. Goose would probably be good, but we don't have Huntsman yet. Picture of Health is not bad, but we're not skilling Warfare. Execution is always a good talent. The Pawn is a good talent. Permits the character to worth 1 point AP of free movement every turn. So that's not bad. I think we're going with either Elemental Affinity or Far Out Men. And since we now have a couple of elemental skills, I want to try the Elemental Affinity to give him more spells per round other than his summoning totems, if that makes sense. The other alternative is the Far Out Man. That's also not bad. You know what? Let's go with the Far Out Man, and we'll take the affinity a little bit later. Oh, wow. We definitely need to skill up before we reskill, elsewise this is gonna result in having a lot of pluses there. And they do not seem to disappear. Okay, let's see. So all the others have been skilled up before. Beast, of course not. He now retains all of the pluses. That sucks. So if I take away one constitution and reskill him, there you go. Finally, the pluses are gone. Good. Our ranger. I think the ranger needs the Seville needs the least work over. The wits part is good. I like it. The finesse part is good. I like it as well. Maybe we give her 2 more memory just to get some more skills in. But she's auto-attacking anyways most of the time. We will see if we have the skills to back that up. Pyro 1, yes. Huntsman, probably 2 for the get-go is good. And everything else in warfare. As for her lucky charm, no thank you. We are going to give her the lore master because she has an inherent bonus on it. Error recovery, no. Executioner, yes. Comeback kit, yes. And we're either going for Duck Duck Goose to avoid attacks of opportunity, or we could go with Hothead. She's often full health, so that might be a thing. Um, that is also an option because she's often standing in water. That is a nice talent. Never thought that that might be a thing, but you could even build something around ambidextrous. Good. In which case, I think I'm looking. I'm torn between either glass cannon or elemental ranger. I think we're going with glass cannon because it's a flat up. Not glass cannon. Oh, sorry. Hothead. I think we're going with Hothead because it's a flat up bonus and we can take Elemental Ranger on top of it later. So that's fine. Let's shortly check. Did he have... Oh yeah, he had leadership. He had 1 point in leadership. Screw you. I shall not take points in leadership yet. Instead, all of the supporting skills too, and yet you're summoning to 10. Summoning is at 10 together with gear, so that's fine. Let's double check. Oh, base 4, summoning. There's something incredibly wrong. How could the base of summoning be only 4? That doesn't even make sense. So we have +1, +2, +4. A lot of leadership skills. And a pretty bad one, by the way. Might as well take a one with +1 intelligence. Or one that gives you +3 initiative, which is even better for now. So, that indeed is suboptimal. It means we need to reskill and give him 2 more points in summoning. Can't just let him... I mean, look at that. We have skilled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, they're right. This is the final value and not how many points we put into it. Too bad. So we need 1 more point there. Good. Summoning 10, that's fine. We might put 1 more point into Hydro from Geomancy, because we do have plus Geomancy gear, which means now we do have Aero, Geomancy, and Hydro all on 2, which means we can take the decent skills. Okay, perfect. As for Lose, I think we have a very solid setup. A little bit less constitution, a little bit more intelligence, and that might just do the trick. I'll put 2 more into memory because she just has really, really tons and tons of skills, and she's a support character anyways. So she hadn't wasted any points here. We see that Aero and Hydro are kind of the core skills. 2 summoning, that's really good. She shouldn't be a lore master. We now have 2 thieves. We do have 1 lore master. So since she's a human, we might as well let her do the bartering part for even more money. So we have comeback hit, elemental affinity, and far out manfire. That's pretty good. I mean, also here one could think about the hothead part, but we're not damaging all that often, so no, I think we're going to be fine. Now let's come to the part where we skill and read the remaining skill books and so on. Double checking, everyone can still wear all of their gear. Good. So moving up and going to our storage chest, we take the Eunice pouch and take a look at the skills. Now, Psychon with a little bit more polymorph is going to look into the polymorph skills and learn a couple of them. Learn, and he already knows spread the wings. He also has a necromancy, which he knows, and knows. As for summoning, I think he's fine. He doesn't need more summoning skills. Beast. We skilled him a little bit deeper into Hydro, so might as well look into the Hydro skills. Soothing Cold specifically. I doubt that he's going to do Hail Strikes or Ice Fence, but might as well give him the option to, in case we're we're in a situation where we need a second ice mage. As for summoning, he already has all of the skills. As for our Aerotherg, which should be up here, we we know both of the skills here, so he can learn them. The geomancy skills are known. You know what? I mean, for her, she has 0 geomancy, and I'm just thinking about skills to regain armor are dirt cheap, so might as well skill 2 points into Geomancer. He has them as well. It doesn't take a lot away from our character. Like, she's anyways not the main damage dealer. She does some okay magical damage, but yeah, it's not the main source of it. So might as well go under abilities, take 2 out of Hydro, and put 2 into Geo for now, just to broaden the skills a little bit more. And then we can let her learn a couple of the armor and defensive skills on top of it. Specifically, the aura skills that regain armor are super helpful. Good. So for her, let's learn of all of these skills. She even has 1 necromancy. That's fun. I really doubt that she's going to use necromancy anytime soon. But might as well think about it. We don't need the skills for anything else at the moment. And we have so many skill books anyways. We're going to have hundreds of skill books. Blood Rain is perfect on her. Polymorph. We had all of the skills on him already, so that's fine. Huntsman. She knows all of the skills. Fair enough. And I'm thinking about Scundrel. No one has it yet. She could use Scundrel a little bit later. Specifically, the critical multiplier and the movement speed is really good. But we want to max out Warfare first. She really doesn't need any Warfare skills. Maybe Enrage. And that's pretty much about it. She's not going to wield melee weapons. She does have Hydro 1, so might as well give her the core skills of Hydro. Rain and healing and magical armor. And I think now it's time to do the loadouts. For Syken, these 2 summoning skills will be fine. We need a little bit more warfare skills, so might want to look into these. Crippling Blow, not really my type of tea. I don't like the skill all too much. I was thinking about going into Bleed Fire as a buff, so that's just some extra damage that he could dish out physically. We're definitely going with the wings because that's such a strong spell. For mobility reasons alone, we could go with Medusa Head as an additional skill to crowd control, but I think we have Chicken and we have Battlestorm and we have Battering Ram, so a lot of physically related crowd control skills. We could use Death Wish, which is okay. Character receives a damage bonus equal to the percentage of lost vitality. Since he's sometimes low, that might make sense. I really like Chameleon Cloak on as an escape tool, so that's good. I like the Shackles of Pain. They are also really good, just to dish out some extra damage. If you know what, we might as well use that. I like it. This here deals some more damage. We could go with Heart of Steel, creating 21 physical armor for 4 turns. Great startup buff, specifically when he needs to go in afterwards. We could also go with First Aid, just to do to counter knockdown, blind sometimes, the diseased part. So that might be a thing, because First Aid also is something where Syken could heal himself. We were missing that a little bit, and it's a great status buff remover as well. So yeah, we can't take unlimited amount of skills, but I think these are the range skills with a lot of crowd control. I'm not sure about Whirlwind yet. It had proven valuable. We might want to use Shackles of Pain instead, but I'm okay with keeping it for now. We do have a couple of buffs, which is Bleed Fire, and also Spread Your Wings, which we should put in here. Yes. Spread Your Wings and Bleed Fire is magical buffs. These here are just damaging skills, crowd control, range damage, and buffs. So yeah, looks like a solid build for me. As for him, I like the first 4 skills. I am not yet 100% convinced about Rallying Cry. I fully love Fossil Strike, such a good ability. I think we need to and we need to put a section back here to regain armor and magical armor and physical armor. I like the idea of having all of these skills on him. Like here we do have all of the 4 skills on him. That is not bad. I did not like Uber Charger so far. Might as well put Restoration in. As a healing tool. So then this all here would be the healing corner for him. But we already have healing. The point about Rallying Cry that I do not like all too much is that it costs 2 action points. All of the other skills cost 1, and therefore, in my opinion, are like very good. This here costs 2, so maybe it also heals and gives and restores magical armor. So maybe we get rid of the frost armor or Rallying Cry, because they kind of serve the purpose. So either Restoration or Rallying Cry, or Frost Armor or Rallying Cry. Rallying Cry kind of combines both of them in one skill, which would free up resources to do something else. Let's see, what would we do with the what would we do? Like we could do Impalement and Warm Terror. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, Impalement is good. I like it. Warm Terror, too expensive. I can't see that that one yet. So you know what? Maybe we are skipping the Restoration part and instead take Impalement. So it's kind of a Geomancer slash summoning build for now, and we're gonna go into the tank aspect of it a little bit later. So as for her, a couple of things that worked like really well. Wait a second, which boat is she wearing? Oh yeah, that one was a little bit better because of the higher item level. Okay, gotcha. Good. So I like the tactical retreat part. Like that's a no-brainer. She has healing, restoration from skills, so that's fine. She has 2 healings, matter of fact. I like the explosive trap setup. That's good. We could definitely take Sky Shot. Wasn't bad either. We could argue for Barrage, although it costs a little bit more action points. There are going to be good skills in the next area. So we could argue for Armor of Frost. It's never a bad idea to have that. And we could even argue for Bless, because I don't think that she needs Rain. But having Bless and an ability to spend her source point once in a while, other than removing the shackles, might be a good thing. The pin down, not a big fan of it, and the barrage is okay, but also like not necessarily a big fan of it. Good, which leads her to her. We need to clean up the bar here. And take a look at what exactly we'd like to do with her. So, wow. We certainly have a lot of skills. That is a given. Let's see which ones we want to use. The 2 summoning skills, great. That's a good one. Rain is good. I like Winter Blast. Hail Strike, also fine. Not necessarily super good, but with the Elemental Affinity, it's becoming quite a useful skill. We should free up some space back here to do all of the buffs and the healing, like Encourage. Then we do have the physical and magical restoration. That is pretty good. I like it. Why exactly is she having water infusion and hasn't learned it yet? Thank you. So, all of this here is defensive magic. I'm a big fan of things that cost 1 point only. She has Blinding Radiance 2 times. Oh, no, she only has it once from her items, and that's fine. Let's take a look what else would we want to use on her. Like, we do have the Dazzling Bolt. I didn't like it so far, to be very, very honest. Like, it just did not resonate super well. Deals okay damage, but I haven't seen any real effect with it. We could use Impalement alternatively. We could use Uncanny Evasion, which I wanted to try for a couple of times, so might as well use that. We're not often in melee though, so might be a little bit of a waste. We could use it on the Incarnate Champion though. We had Ice Fan, which might be a better idea because Ice Fan also is based on ice damage, so yeah, that could be an idea. Like going with Ice Fan. We want the healing potions here. So then we do have Blinding Radiance, which is okay. Like we get the skill for free. We have our defensive skills here, a lot of them to be honest. And our source point skill, which is also fine. I guess overall a good build. One could argue to take a couple of other skills that I also like, but I think we went extremely well with it so far. Could think about getting a polymorph a little bit later to get skin grafts to reset all of the skills. So that was the quote-unquote little respec. We have just we have just used a couple of tweaks, nothing major. And yeah, I think with the tweaks, we're going to do just fine. Polymorph is just such a good school. So good. I love it. Beast is definitely gonna get 2 points in Polymorph as well, just for the sheer amount of movement that you can get out of it. Okay, so we got a solid party. Everything's fine and set up, which means we can now start our journey to Act 2. There we go.